Good day, everyone. I am Jenelyn Manlunas and I'll be discussing about the growing ornamental plants. Whether you are or not a plant enthusiast, we cannot deny the fact that plants invariably elevate the beauty of the space. They add a beautiful pop of green in the darkest corner of the house and undoubtedly gives us a refreshing aroma outdoor. Its beauty is enticing and eye satisfying. Well, nature definitely has a way of charming us in a million ways that we should be thankful for. Even just recently, plants were rising stars during the pandemic times. A significant plant revolution has helped us to go through the dark times. In fact, many Filipinos has become plantitos and plantitas of these ornamental plants. So, what are ornamental plants? The plants that those are grown for decorative purpose are called ornamental plants. Plants that beautify the area around your home, offices, school, parks, and anywhere. These are best materials used while building alone or any kinds of gardens and landscape designs projects. It is grown for display purpose rather than functional ones. So they are usually grown in the flower garden for the display of their flowers. These plants come in many shapes, sizes, and colors that are selected depending their climatic, landscape, and gardening requirements. So every plants have different shapes, sizes, and colors because it depends with their climatic, landscape, and as well as the gardening requirements. So ornamental plants, generally speaking, it constitutes natural living beauty that enriches the quality of human life. So we have here the two types of ornamental plants. So these are flowering plants and non-flowering plants. So obviously speaking, flowering plants grow flowers and use seeds to reproduce or male plants like them, while non-flowering plants do not grow flowers and use either seeds or spores, which are very tiny parts of a plant that be used to reproduce to grow more plants just like them. So we have here the examples of flowering plants. So both of these are already familiar to all of us. Maybe some of us has these plants in their home. So first example is the rose or roses. So it is one of the most common and loved ornamental plants. This is why they are often called the queen of flowers. There are so many species and cultivars that you can pick of these roses. And the other example is the marigold. It is an all-time favorite plant for those who love to design their landscapes. Marigolds are known for bringing lots of color into any garden. Have mixtures of colors like red, gold, yellow, and copper. So this marigold blooms in late summer. Actually, we still have a lot to mention of examples of flowering plants. This includes gomamela, sunflower, dahlia, and many to mention. In fact, we have different naming of these flowers, so depending on the location and of how the people of that place would name them. So now let us go to the examples of non-flowering plants. So one of the example of non-flowering plants is the bonsai. Bonsai plant actually is a Japanese technique of growing in a large plant in a smaller size. A little bit of water, sunlight, and pruning, and you'll be able to grow miniature version of trees in the living room. The other example is the sensational snake plant. I believe this is all familiar to us. It is actually one of the best indoor plants. The Sansevieria or mother-in-law's tang are a hard-to-kill variety that needs minimal sunlight and watering. You just place them in a colorful pot to match your decor, and its yellow-green leaves will add an element or misery in the air. It is actually an air purifier that cleans air. Yeah, it's amazing, right? We still have a lot of examples here in the Philippines of these non-flowering plants. So this includes San Francisco, um, Duranta, and many to mention. Now let us move forward to the main importance of ornamental plants. So the importance of ornamental plants. So first and foremost, of course, is its amazing beauty. Ornamental plants, both flowering and non-flowering plants, gives a visual treat to the eyes. Even the ornamental trees provide shades and some act as green walls. Few plants spell out a sweet aroma scents, and plants will create an attractive landscape. Some plants that spell aroma are jasmine, lavender, and other aromatic ornamental flowers have both aroma and attractive look. And also, the aroma and beauty, it which believe that it improves concentration, it reduces stress, and it is for our mood. Students around the world, as well as the adults and young children, are now trying to manage their mental health at home. Some doctors literally prescribe buying houseplants to people who are suffering from acute anxiety. A lot of studies also suggest that taking care of plants can reduce feeling of loneliness and depression in people, something that is not surprisingly very prevalent right now during the COVID-19 pandemic. Caring for plants provides a sense of purpose and distraction for many people. And it's rewarding mentally to see the plant you've cared for to bloom and thrive. Garden with ornamental confiners, pines, or palms give a pleasing and calming atmosphere around. And also, ornamental plants are best a natural air purifier, and it cleans the air. As we all know, just for like the example of the snake plant, as we all know, those plants give off oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. Therefore, the oxygen that it gives off will cleanse the air, especially the polluted air. And also, for home remedies with medicinal values. So some of the ornamental plants have medicinal values, like for example, the mayana, that is used to treat to skin diseases. And also, it prevents soil erosion. It creates ecosystem, and it is for a much greener planet. Growing ornamental plants will help to create an amazing ecosystem. Pollinating agents like insects, birds, bats, etc. will be constant visitors for the gardens that adds a natural charm to the garden. It prevents soil erosion in a way that grasses, come in many textures used for landscaping, will help to prevent soil erosion. Like trees, pines, firs, willows, and etc. are good for hillside gardens. And it is also a solution for environmental problems such as climate change, global warming, or pollutions. So, it is a more serious problem that's troubling the world these days. Pollution is the root cause of global warming, climate change, and natural disasters. To overcome these problems, plants are the best solution. Apart from these, ornamental plants will improve the charm and elegance of your home, and a growing garden with ornamental or edible plants of your interest will reap the benefits and contribute towards a greener planet. That is the end of my report, and the rest about this will be discussed by Ms. Manto about the ways to raise ornamental plants. So, thank you so much for bearing with me. Once again, I am Jenelyn Manlunas, who believe with the saying of Audrey Hepburn, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. We can't buy happiness, but we can buy plants, and that's pretty much the same thing. Thank you, and God bless.